Welcome back to another episode of the Best Small Business Show. I'm your host, Rich G,
And I'm BJ Flag.
and we're focusing on critical books that you should read to grow your business. These are great books.
They are so good. Today, we're diving into Think Again by Adam Grant. It's a powerful book that challenges our tendency to hold on to all those old ideas and ways of thinking and encourages us to embrace rethinking. Rich, I think that is the best thing to say, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is like BJ said. This is a heavy book. This
Yeah.
isn't a light read for the airplane. This is a very heavy book, but it's a great book.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? As small business owners, the ability to question and adapt our beliefs, strategies, and approaches can be the difference between thriving and just merely surviving. I think that in this episode, we're going to highlight six key takeaways from the book tailored to small business success and provide an action step for each of these. So let's get started. Rich, kick us off.
Okay, number one, the power of knowing what you don't know. This is something I
Oh
cover with my
my
clients all the
gosh.
time. It's the unknown unknowns. It's the knowing what you don't know. So first off, Adam Grant discusses the importance of recognizing the limits of our knowledge. Okay, in your small business, it's easy to think that, yeah, we know it all, but especially when we're experts in our field, we think, especially you've had your small business for a long time, you think you know everything. That's not the case.
Yeah.
Acknowledging what we don't know opens the door for learning. It opens the door for growing and innovating in our small business. It happens to me a lot because we get comfortable. We think, oh, I know everything about executive coaching. And
Right.
that's not the case.
Yeah. And you can learn so much from everybody else,
Yes.
and this is not a chat GBT situation. This is a inner knowledge and, a owned knowledge. So it's so fantastic.
What action steps do we have from Adam?
Okay. So conduct a knowledge gap analysis to your in your business. This is so important because you need to identify the three areas where you feel uncertain and could use more expertise. You need to seek books, online courses, or mentors to fill those gaps and stay on the cutting edge. Knowledge gaps, Rich, you have such a great example of it.
Yeah, knowledge gaps are areas. They're the hidden areas that I call unknown unknowns, things that bite us in the butt. Um,
Oh,
we don't know things that we don't know, and so it's sitting down and understanding. You know what? I really don't know that much about ChatGPT. I really need to play with it every day
yes,
to
yes.
learn a little bit more of it. Or I don't know that much about lead generation. Or, you know what, I haven't talked to my customers a lot. So understand your knowledge gap. And the scary thing about knowledge gaps are it takes us out of our comfort zone.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we really are addressing those areas that we might be a little bit scared to recognize. So that's what a
Oh,
knowledge gap is.
yeah. And where I feel like, for instance, right now I'm in a social media brain. It's kind of like a think tank, and people are always like, "What are you doing that? You know all there is to know about social media." It's no, 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 no. I don't. No, I don't. And it is fantastic to get together once a month and really dissect what people are doing and how it's affecting marketing. So that I would say I saw a knowledge gap. Seeked out this group. Boom. Really helps so much. Let me take you to number two. Embrace the joy of being wrong. Wrong. You need to understand that Grant emphasizes the benefits of seeing mistakes as learning opportunities rather than setbacks. This happens to us all in every single thing. small businesses have setbacks can feel really personal. It could feel like it's happening to you personally. But by reframing them as a necessary part of growth, you can approach challenges with much more constructive mindset. Rich, I want to say, based on seeing mistakes, what actions could we take?
Yeah, being wrong is something that we're ashamed of when we own a small business.
I guess you're right. You're right.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge that we're going to be making mistakes. So, the action item that Adam puts together is set up monthly fail forward sessions with your team. What do I mean by fail forward? It's actually acknowledging that we are going to make mistakes,
Yeah.
that we're going to learn from lessons, and actually get your team, the people that work around you, to admit, you know what, I screwed up here. And this is how I fixed it, because candidly, the other people are going to learn and you're going to learn too. And when
Yeah.
you, as the manager or the leader of the team, admits mistakes, that's huge when your boss says, you know what, I screwed up. So having these fail forward sessions with your team is critical. And what you do is you openly share mistakes and lessons learned and celebrate the learning that came from each experience. Like, oh, I
Right.
didn't handle this customer correctly, or what could I have done differently from working with this customer? This creates a culture where growth is more valuable than being right.
Yeah. And you've always said that really looking at a mistake as an opportunity is a better thing to do. We all remember Edison's how many times he failed before he, discovered the illumination. But that in its own, you're accepting it, not getting concerned, moving on. So I love it. I love it. Rich, bring us to number three.
Number three is think like a scientist, not a preacher or a prosecutor. Well, what does Adam Grant mean by this? He describes three mindsets. Number
Okay.
one, he talks about the preacher who defends beliefs. Then he talks about the prosecutor who attacks each other's views. And then he talks about the scientist who seeks truth, which is different from the preacher or the prosecutor. And
Yeah.
but here's the funny thing, truth is scary sometimes. It's very scary because in business, adopting this scientific mindset rather than the preacher or the prosecutor means
Yeah.
treating your ideas as hypotheses and being willing to test and revise them rather than being this dictatorial preacher or a prosecutor that's always pointing out bad things. Being a scientist, you're looking for the truth. So, BJ, tell us about the action items for this grants mindset area.
Awesome. So, really, what we want you to do is apply the scientific method to your business strategies. Hey, what do I mean by that? You need to create a hypothesis. What are you doing? What's happening? You also have to decide, okay, we're going to begin with the end in mind. Good old Stephen Covey tells us, begin with that vision. And once you're at that vision, you're going to see your little roadblock, you're going to see what happened, and then you're going to bring yourself to it. You're going to choose like one area of your business, like your marketing approach or your business offering, and you're going to set up an experiment and gather the data and adjust based on those results. So you're really doing it not by you're not doing it just by guess. You're actually looking at the data. Rich probably gets sick of me talking about data, but look in the data, look and see what's happening. Everything that you're doing is evolving. It's not it's not like a fixed position. So you really need to look at everything that you're doing, right, Rich, and kind of
Yeah.
get in there. Yeah, I believe that.
It's so important. So, what's number four, BJ?
Okay, build a challenge network, not just a support network. So while, support networks are great, they're super good for encouragement. And, challenge networks are going to push you to think critically and reconsider your approaches. And think of the social media group that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These are major influencers in the industry. And we are all talking about fails and things that didn't work and why didn't it? And now setting up, goals to do that. Rich, it's been amazing.
Yeah, having a challenge network is very rare in business because
Yeah.
people just want to keep. I just want to just keep selling ice cream. That's it. Well, have you ever thought of doing something different, offering something, and having this challenge network built in?
Yeah. And, Rich has an incredible group of coaches that all meet together, and they are literally challenging each other every time to push, 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 because that's what they can offer to people. It's amazing. I feel that Grant, suggests surrounding yourself with these people who question your decisions and offer different perspectives. That's the little nugget that you have to listen to. You got to be open to all of this, don't you think? We need action items, Rich.
Well, first of all, identify three people in your network
Ah, there we go.
who you trust to challenge your ideas. Now, these are people that could be peers or even people that have bigger businesses than you do, and set up regular check-ins where you present your latest strategy or challenge and get their honest feedback. It's so important. Companies do this all the time. Their questions may just spark your next big breakthrough. So it's
Oh
so
yeah.
important to set up these people like BJ and I have. We have these mastermind groups that we go to and we talk about ideas that we have, failures that we've experienced, new brainstorms that might totally change the way we do business.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Give us number five.
Number five is rethink your business identity and brand. Okay. Adam Grant discusses how we often tie our identity too closely to our ideas, making it hard to change. And I do this all the time. I'm terrible about it, and we need to change when needed. We have to look past our ego because we tie our ego too much into our business because we represent our business, and honestly, we see that a lot with big companies out there. The CEO
Oh yeah.
has a huge ego, and they don't want to change. So.
Yeah. And look at like Victoria's Secret. They brought back their angels and had their thing. What they didn't realize is life's moved on. Life has moved on. And when you see a business that is just crumbling on top of themselves, it's the old identity they're holding on to. And it just breaks your heart, right? It just, uh,
Yeah,
can't
it's
handle
sad. It's like for small businesses, clinging to an old identity or brand that no longer serves you can hinder growth.
it. Oh, yeah.
It's funny. There's a Hallmark store in the town that I live in, and
Uh
I
oh.
just you go in there. It's like I'm not spending $5 for a card for a piece of paper, and they have all these tchotchkes. It's like I walked back into 1980 and they haven't changed at all. And they don't realize that they're catering to a population of 70-year-olds, that remember this back in the 80s and the 70s. And
Yeah.
they're clinging to that old identity. And it's sad instead of understanding, well, you have 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds that you need to cater to. So,
Yeah.
BJ, what actions should we take when we need to rethink our brand?
I want you to consider reassessing your brand, your business brands, and the mission statement. It's like really turning around and looking at yourself. Ask yourself if it aligns with your current goals and the market needs. If not, evolve your brand. Right, Rich? You need to kind of just move it over.
Yeah, a big thing to do is start to look at your numbers. Start to understand what customers are buying what and what customers aren't
Back
buying.
to the scientific method. Very
Exactly.
good.
Really understanding by the numbers that they might not be purchasing certain things, or younger people are purchasing these things, or single people are purchasing these things, and understanding how to stock. I do it all the time, looking at my business and changing and tweaking little things on my website and stuff. BJ.
You really have. And what I want to say about that, I'm not saying that we're skewing demographic. I'm not saying that we're always going to the young people. No, 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 no. But what you have to understand is your personal audience matures. And you need to understand that there's an audience right behind them that is ready for your knowledge. So that's the one that you want to move, and keep pushing them. It's for sure. So I'm going to give you number 6, learn to unlearn. I told Rich that this is my absolute favorite one. One of Grant's most compelling ideas is unlearning outdated practices and beliefs to make room for new things and more effective things. So guess what? We're all thought hoarders. That's right. We want to hold on to the past practices that just no longer work and can really hinder our business growth. I would say the most effective and successful leaders let go of the past and they embrace the future. They're the futurists. They're the ones who we love. Right, Rich? Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Grant is 100% correct here.
Yeah,
The action items that you should take when you find yourself becoming a thought hoarder is identify just one process, just
yeah,
a single policy or a single strategy in your
right.
business that needs to be updated. Okay?
And remember last time we were talking about that 1%, that little tiny change that you're going to make? This is what we're talking about right here, right?
Absolutely. So start a process of unlearning by discontinuing the old approach and replacing it with a new one that is more relevant to your current business environment. And BJ, I think that's it. That's all of the 6
Yes.
takeaways that we have today.
Fantastic book, though. Adam Grant's Think Again provides a powerful insights into the importance of rethinking and the value of being open to change. By applying these 6 lessons in your small business, you can foster a culture of learning, adaptability, and growth. Remember, success isn't just about getting it right. It's about having the courage to think again. So I loved it, Rich.
Yeah, and we always like to end with go out and buy the book. Okay.
Yes.
Adam Grant's Think Again is packed with powerful insights that can transform how you approach your business and life. BJ and I highly recommend picking up a copy to explore these concepts further and to learn to rethink and adapt more effectively. It's a must read for any
Yes.
small business owner looking to stay ahead of the curve. Grab the book, start rethinking, and watch your business thrive.
And we need you to keep this momentum going. Share this episode on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and TikTok with a hashtag, the best small business show. Let's spread the word and keep this community growing.
And ready to take your business to the next level? Reach out to me, Rich G, at richg.com for top-tier business coaching that drives results. And for all things brand marketing and website design, connect with my fantastic podcast partner, BJ Flagg, at newrenew.com. Let's make your brand unforgettable.
Thanks for tuning in and being such a fantastic part of our team. If this episode fires you up, don't miss out on what's coming next. Subscribe, follow, and share for your budding entrepreneurs with your budding entrepreneurs and level up. Your support keeps us growing and going and helps us make an even more significant impact.
A big shout out to our editor and producer, Richard Scalzo, for making us sound fantastic in every episode. Have an unbelievable week and crush those goals, and we'll catch you on the next episode.